everyone. Thank you so much for coming to this ping along and of the snowdrop with the yellow crocus. I would like to call this the happy reunion because they haven't seen each other for a year. The flower and blossom die down, the leaf die down, and so it's springtime now, which we're all hoping here in Utah because today we have 50 degrees. I cannot believe this, but it's middle of March, and so I'm excited to when the snow finally all gone. I can still see snow outside. They're melting, and I'll be see the shoots of the of my tulips out there. But I have hyacinth actually inside the house, and this painting is fun. Now this is only one snowdrop and 1.5 crocus because I have done a full painting of just snowdrop last year. If you guys want to, itching to do white flower, do more snowdrop, then go check that out. And all of these, I will have a drawing. If you needed to have a drawing, just to help you out in the beginning, and to how to do this. And hey, this is my flicking away eraser dust. I'm using that to point today, and so this is just one of them, and I wanted to tell you what I added. Okay, so let's get a pointier brush. I lost my white gouache, which is really distressing me. I know that it will show up. Sometimes I just walk off, but I need that. As you saw me paint, I have accidentally take away the highlight over here, so I recover it. So I couldn't find my gouache. I use a white acrylic, which is great, and I put that there so you can see that there's a highlight there, and there's highlight here, and one little highlight there. Now there's actually 3 kinds of yellow here. There's the cadmium yellow light, medium, and also I mix a color, but you see that as you watch the video. So this is actually a very good painting for us to kind of practicing dealing with yellow and their shadow. And so we did that, and I think I'm happy with it. And I splashed some color. I just finished a little bit more of a background, and I splashed some color here and there. That's all I did after I finish almost the whole painting and some of the background with you guys. And I also add a little slight touch of shadow here because that was too white, so I go in there and did that. And so I hope you guys have fun. I think this is a very appropriate painting of spring because the crocus are, I'm sure, coming out in a lot of your yard. I used to have crocus, and then they just kind of die out. Maybe there's still some of their bulbs inside. I don't know, but I haven't seen them for years. But anyway, so this is what we're gonna do this time. It's relatively easy and fun, and so I hope you try it, okay? And the drawing will be at my blog and my blog post, sunsetpeony.com. And I also as I paint, of course, I talk about what color I use, and I will also have it on the post. And also I wanted to just keep in mind, because the yellow is so delicate here, when we do the background, a little bit of the color actually will naturally seep into the yellow, right? And so it is quite important for us to go recover the line, I think, so this will be nice and crisp. Anyway, thank you so much. I will just stop talking, and I'm very grateful you're here. And if you remember to subscribe to my channel, and that will help me out. And I will let you guys start your painting. Okay, let's get started, shall we? And I hope I have the camera focused in the right spot, and I just wanted to dab this out as much as possible because we're going in with yellow, and if there's like the pencil mark there, you will be able to see the pencil mark. And not that I think that is a problem, but since I don't know how you guys feel about seeing pencil mark, so this will be hard as I go to see the pencil mark because I just dab it out. And so we will start with this number 2 Jackson brush, and I'm going in to dip the cadmium yellow light, okay? Now, and I will talk you through as I go, okay? So this is one of the petal. Always wanted to start on the left because I'm using my right hand, right? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the color down just like normal. However, I'm going to leave a little highlight over here, okay? If you don't see it, it's just this little part, but because it's the yellow color, it's very, very, hard for you to be able to see that. And that's how I want it, because that highlight is actually quite important. It will help us to be able to, you know, to be able to see the form. Okay, need a little bit more pigment, okay, to see the form of this petal better, okay, if we would do that. And so I will take the time and the pain, if it is painful, you know, to leave that little place there. Okay, as we work on the painting, you see. Okay, now I'm gonna work on this second petal of the crocus, okay, this crocus, little crocus spring flower, and there will be a little highlight right there, okay? Same thing, I'm going to go into the cadmium yellow light, okay? And quite a bit of paint over there. And the pigment probably is not enough, need to redip, because the petals compared to this brush is quite big, okay? And so actually, if you are more experienced, you can use the flow brush or a little bit flow brush, I mean this one, you know, then you will be able to, you know what, I'm going to do that. I'll be able to cover that area faster. You know, using small brush is fine, small brushes, but you know, as you go on and be a artist, that sometimes you just think, oh, I'm dragging. It seems like I'm dragging. What I mean is I'm trying to go faster, but then I have to, you know, it seems like I can't get the color to move faster for me, and I think that will be the time you can actually change it to a bigger brush. Now I don't know why, and maybe because when I was practicing I was using the smaller brush, and because I was thinking about something else, which we will do in a minute over here, okay? Now the third petal, the same thing, okay? Now, if you look at yellow crocuses, they actually are a darker kind of yellow than what I am putting the cadmium. Now, there's no highlight over here because I guess from the picture, the sun is coming this direction, so it doesn't hit this one. Okay, so we don't need to worry about that yet. But why do I use yellow? Because, you know, I'm going to work the contrast of different color into it, and so you will see that. And so I need a kind of like a light kind of yellow to get it started, and then it will be able to help me make more of a contrast. Okay, so I'm going to work on this 3 petal first, and then the rest of the one behind, then I'll come back to it. Okay, now, so what I'm going to do is I will at this point use my zero brush over here. I just keep having a feeling I forgot to push a button, but that's not true. Every button is pushed. Okay, now, so what I'm going to do is I am going to use this and put a little bit over here so that there, put a little bit of cadmium yellow medium, okay? Now, so this is my green color palette, okay? That's my cadmium yellow light, which go with the sap green very well, right? And so now this is cadmium yellow medium that I'm dipping in it, you know, because I wanted to show you guys once in a while how I do things, you know. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back over here. Now, you know, since this camera is actually quite good, you will be able to see, you can see, right, there's a contrast of color. So because of that, the presence of this 2 color, then it can become quite pretty, and it will help us to get the form better. Okay, then we will be able to see the form. That means the cupping shape of this. Now we need that to be a little more gentle, like the cupping shape. Okay, now, so now is the 3rd layer. Okay, I'm going to tell you when you hear me, I'm dipping in the cadmium yellow medium, okay, which is over here. I make this up just so that I can show you. And then I dip a little bit of pull a little bit of the cadmium red medium or red deep, okay? It's up to whatever you have. It will be a kind of like an orangey color, okay? Orangey color red, okay? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to further enhance the tone, okay? And make this even more of a cupping shape. Okay, so darker and medium and then light, okay? And then it will look like a cup to you, to the viewer. But, you know, if you just like, you know, go into it, you will never want it to do that because then it seems kind of scary. Okay, I need some down here too. Okay, so I'm dipping in the same mixture, okay, because I won't be able to show you every time, but I show you that once, okay, and that will give the darker value, okay. which will act as the shadow. Okay, so I seems to have a little bit too much of liquid in there, so I'm going to just leave that alone. Okay, just leave this little part alone. Okay, or I can, maybe I should just try, dropping a little bit of color back into it. Okay, so do you see the cupping shape? And I'm going to do that like a little bit a few times. Okay, so you'll be able to see that. Okay, now there is a shape right here that will help you to see that this petal is actually also like a cup going this way. Okay, so what I'm going to do is the same thing. I'll do this one more time. Okay, go to this cadmium yellow medium and dip that, and with the cadmium red deep or red medium, whatever you have, red that is kind of orangey red. Okay, but not a lot. We want more yellow than red. Okay, because we don't want this to look like, you know, somehow on this yellow crocus flower you actually have some okay, so this cup shape over here. Okay, so slightly, right? So slightly. Do you see that little line that I put in there? And then I'm going to clean my brush right away, and this has no pigment, and I'm going to come here and soften this, and that will give you that shadowy, a little bit of you know, for your eye to see that a little bit better, that there is a bend in that there's a bend in that little petal over here. Okay, now I'm using just cadmium yellow medium. Okay, I'm gonna come over here to the edge, to the very edge, and further enhance that cupping shape. Okay, further enhance that cupping shape so that you will be able to see there's the contrast between the yellow, and this is the yellow light, and the cadmium yellow medium. Okay, and this medium will lead into that mix of red color right there. Okay, I'm getting it over there and get it to mix in together, so that what I'm trying to accomplish is a smooth transition. Okay, now a little bit of the cadmium red medium orangey color that I just showed you that 2 times. Okay, while I'm mixing over here. Okay, now so this spring crocus is actually very, very good for a chance to work with yellow and how to portray the shadow of the yellowy color. Okay, and then I'm going to come back and do something else later when this is totally dry out. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing over here. Okay, so kind of like in this area I'm going to use that same color, but before I do that I want to actually use just the cadmium yellow medium. Okay, this is the light. Okay, so I'm like, you know, I know I talk fast, but I know that you guys also listen fast, and but I'm trying to accentuate what I'm talking about right now a little bit more. Okay, now do you see that? What I'm doing is I'm working the form. Okay, working the form of the petal, so that even this petal, it look like it will be pushed back, like this is furthermore pushed back than this area over here. Okay, now I'm going into this area now. Okay, so I'm gonna go back in and dip the cadmium yellow medium with that red deep. Okay, so make orange of a color. Okay, now this flower is actually yellow, right? But with all these, you know, you have to trust me, it will turn, you will still see yellow, you still know that this is a yellow flower, but the yellow flower will shadow. Okay, so you can see that I'm doing a little stroke now. My brush is clean. Okay, and come back up and soften these edges. Why is it that we need to soften that? Because in that area, now back to that orangey color, because I want to further enhance it. Or you can call it that I'm picking on it. I'm picking on my painting. Okay, now further enhance it. Okay, so that will give you that little bit, and then soften the color. Okay, when I always say soften, then my brush is usually clean. Okay, a clean brush to go and soften it. Okay, so there is this light, so the light go forward towards you, and this is pushed back, and then this is forward over looking at you, and then this area is a little bit pushed back. Okay, now if you want to, you can make up that little orangey color and do it over here too. Okay, then this area will be further even pushed back, and the reason why we can do that is because that really is the deepest recess of this whole flower. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing and do some over here. Okay, I don't need to do a lot because there's gonna be purple color around here, so the purple will come up and cover, you know, the hard work that we made, right? But to make my point clear, so now the shape is already right in front of your face, right? It's a very, you know, cup on the side and then the cup in the middle. Okay. And then I'm going to go do the back, okay? The back 3 petal, 1, 2, 3, okay? Now, there's this one, the outside, okay? The outside of this cup. The cup is like this. So what I mean by outside is this part, not the inside part, okay? And so we can use the cadmium medium or the cadmium medium. If you afterwards you say, that's not even dark enough, you can add a little bit of that orange color back in there, okay? Now this change in the transition between this color, okay, I'm gonna put some over here just so that the petals are not as ambiguous, okay? It's separated. The difference in color between this and the light that we're gonna put in a minute will let you see that it's like a cup, okay? So it's the same thing, you know. As artists, we're working on form now. Now, why do I use this little one? I could actually use the big one. Okay, let's start with the little one. Okay, we're using the cadmium yellow medium now, because if the sun really is coming this direction, then this one is not going to receive so much light, okay? So we can use the medium, okay? We kind of almost like we're outlining it, you know, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna soften it, use a clean brush. Now I just clean it in my water, okay, right? And then I'm gonna pull this out. So it's a gentle transition, okay? It's a gentle transition because I don't need it to be, you know, this doesn't need to be like totally full of color now, but because I wanted to also let you see the transition more, I'm gonna put a yellow light on here. So there's actually 2 colors here, medium and light. It's really fun to work with yellow color because you know, it's almost like you don't see it, but yes you do. You know, you kind of do see it, okay? So one more time, similar to this one, okay? Cadmium yellow medium. Okay, and then pull the color out. Pull that color out. Okay. And just let it go to the middle, okay? So you see that there is a transition, okay? And so for this one, since it's kind of facing the sun, so I'm gonna, you know, start with the middle part, I mean this lower part, cadmium yellow light, okay? Yellow light, and then I soften it, and then I go up with the medium, but just a little bit, okay? Not so much, because I want to use the difference in this and this value, the tonal value, to show that this is a cupping shape, as you can see, right? That there's actually a cup. Now this is like blend together with here, but very easily we go in with our cadmium yellow medium, okay, the medium color, and we put a stripe over here, and that will separate that for us, okay? You can see that, right? Now not too, now don't make the line too obvious. It should be a very soft line, okay? Now so I told you that I work some more, okay? So like I know that this part is dry, so let's go to that little orange, the cadmium yellow medium plus the red, okay? And now I'm going to like do the little stripe, because the in nature I didn't mix enough color, so I need to go get some more. In nature, there is a little vein. Okay, so you can just actually, that helps the artist, right? You see that? And now that's even more pronounced, right? But we don't want it too sharp, so slightly soften it, okay? And that is all for now with the yellow, okay? So while we're there, now we're here, we're gonna work on the purple. And so, oh, I just put away the purple, can you believe that? Okay, this is my purple, pretty purple blue color, dioxazine purple, okay? What we're gonna do is we're gonna just dip quite intense of a color. This is dry paper, okay? And then we're gonna come down here, okay? And this is the stem. From what I can see, the stem is, you know, the stem is the stem is quite of a purple color. Okay, so I'm going to do that. I'm just going to take advantage of it and maybe push it a little bit further. Okay, now I'm softening this area. Okay, now so I'm gonna go into this area with the purple. Now this needs to be dry, and I think that it is very dry, and so I'm going back into this pretty really helpful little brush of my zero brush from Oriental Art Supply, and I'm going to use that and put that purple that I see, you know, into here. Okay. Now this is like, you can see how sharp my little trusty brush can do, right, for me. And so it's very, very sharp line. Okay, you see that? And that's very, very pretty. And then there's some over here. And so I'm gonna, like, do you see how sharp that little line is? Okay, I'm gonna do what I see from my picture reference. Okay, and then go down here. Okay, wow, isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? I think that works out really well, but I think that they are a little too sharp, so just gently, okay? Don't take out too much because there are veins over there, okay? So gently kind of soften it, okay? Soften some, not soften all, okay? So that one I'm very, very happy. Now I'm going back with the same brush, my little zero brush, and go pick up some more purple. And let's do this one right here. Okay. Whew, fun. Okay, I'm gonna flick it out, you know, because there's the vein. Okay, now but not too much. Okay, and you know, remember last time we say purple, not last time, a lot of times, but last time too, purple is very permanent. Okay, so we need to quickly come in and soften whatever we want it to soften. Okay, or else it's just gonna stay and say we're friends, good friends forever, not gonna leave. Okay. Okay, now I think this part is dry too, so I'm gonna go in with my Pinks Gray. I love my Pinks Gray color. Okay, and go darken this part right here a little bit, so that I can make this stem a more of a cylinder. Okay, instead of just a little flat piece of things here for you. Okay, and then just do a little stripe, because that's what I see from the picture. It's kind of stripy, so I wanted to be able to maintain the stripiness that I saw. Okay, very, very nice and pretty. Okay, and kind of a little bit soften it. Okay, so that part is like this little beauty. Okay, there's a little bit of purple over here, so I'm going to do it. Okay, just a tiny little bit. Okay, wow, fun, right? Okay, now there's a little flower over here. Is the bud. Okay, so we're gonna, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change to a different reference picture and find a, but I'm looking at a purple bud, but we're gonna, you know, translate that in my mind, you know, just use my experience and translate into a yellow bud, because I didn't find a reference picture with yellow bud. Okay, so what this is cadmium yellow light. Okay, that lightish green color, lightish yellow color. Okay, and then I'm going to just soften the line a little bit over here. There might be a little bit of highlight there and a little bit of highlight here. Okay, that's just, you know, my artist part of me trying to have fun. Okay, cadmium yellow medium now. Okay, and just finish that up. And so what the purpose of this bud actually is to, you know, show the viewer this is spring. Okay, and so there are new growth. Okay, and also help us as an artist to put another splash of color with that. Okay, now going into that little orange red color that I show you, and then put just a little bit down to the very, very bottom. Okay, and guess what, that's it. Okay, so this is like, because this is not, I mean, she is really the focal point. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. Okay, now let's work on our snowdrop. So I didn't even I think I would talk about it when we are, you know, and so I'm gonna just leave this alone and try not to touch it with my arm as much. Okay, now we're gonna do this snowdrop. And why do Kathy, in her strange mind, is doing this? Because I wanted to paint something about spring. Now today in Provo, like right now, we are 50 degrees. I cannot believe that. And so let me see, we're 50 degrees, so I'm going to you know, welcome spring. I'm going to welcome spring and you know, and put a snowdrop. Now if you wanted to learn more about snowdrop, this is the cap of the drop. So what I just put is some sap green over there, okay? And so I'm going in with the perlene green, okay? Perlene green is a little bit darker than the sap, okay? And coming down over here, okay? And so there's transition color, and then guess what I'm gonna do? Go into the indigo and finish up the cap of the snowdrop. Now, I actually painted a snowdrop last year, and if you guys wanted to practice doing a lot of snowdrop, you can go back and look at it, okay? Now, I really don't want the highlight to be over there. Like, you see that it's whiter, so don't worry, okay? I'm going to come in, and with my perlene green, and put a little bit more of the perlene green, and get rid of the highlight. You can actually do a highlight there, and if we have time, we remember, we can put some white gouache over there to recover it, okay? And so that's what we're gonna do. And now I'm back to the indigo to further darken the tone over here, okay? And so that it will be darker, and then you can see the kind of like a gumdrop, but this is snowdrop, not gumdrop. Okay, you see that? That's actually quite pretty, right? I really hope that I have enough light. I actually have to turn off one of my light. Can you believe that? I'm gonna remove that, and now going into this brush again. Okay, now snowdrop is white in color, right? So if you remember what we did last year, we say if we're white, then we paint the shadow. Now I'm going to use some indigo mixed with Payne's Gray for my shadow. Okay, I'm just like kind of soften it because I know that color is not softening. Okay, so I'm gonna use some Payne's Gray and dip it in with my indigo, so it's like kind of like a dark kind of bluish, okay? And we're painting the shadow of the petal of the gumdrop, okay? Okay, so I look like I'm just putting a line there. I'm gonna come in and soften that line, okay? It's quite intricate of a of a work. And then I'm doing the same thing, dipping in some, and then okay, it's kind of hard for me to see. I think this is the point part over here, okay? So if this part is facing the sun, I'm going to have a little bit of a line right here that is, kind of in the shadow, okay? And you will see, 1, 2, 3, however many steps I am going to show you to portray the cup shape of this petal, okay? Now, this is the most important part, is I'm going to use that same shadowy color of Payne's Gray plus a little bit indigo, and I'm going to put that over here, okay? And as I do that, then you will be able to see that, it's more prominent to you that this is actually a cup shape of the petal, okay? Now, and since the petal is not altogether flat, right, we can actually kind of randomly put a couple line over here and more over here and soften that, and then go in quickly and soften that. Because indigo is also a staining color, okay? So when we work with indigo, we kind of need to be a little bit faster. Okay, you see that? And let's do the top a little bit, okay? Put the top part right there, just a little stroke, okay? Now, because if you use a lot of shadow, you know that when you're painting white, you're just painting shadow, right? And that's what with all the white flower that I have, talked to you about, okay? And so if you try to do that, then but there will get to a point where you can do too much, okay? And so try to restrain yourself, sit on your hand, and don't allow yourself. Okay, this is a different petal, okay? So that's the curvy area. And so that's my first shadow that I wanted to put over there, okay? And so I just want you guys to understand that. And then you don't have to, remember I talk about loss and fine line, okay? You don't have to put a line all the way down here, okay? It is more artistic to just kind of leave that and then come down over here. Now this part is actually the middle part over here, okay? And so, you can see that I just corrected the stroke, okay? And then, so we're gonna come and soften this part, soften that. Because this is lower into the flower, right? So you can actually put the shadow over here, okay? And then we'll do the same thing, kind of a little bit, but then we'll do a little stripe over there. Last year we had fun, didn't we? doing the snowdrop. I hope some of you have tried, to do it with me. And these are the randomness of the snowdrop petal, okay? So we put kind of like the same color, and then we quickly go and soften that. Okay, you can see that that's already coming, into form, right? And so, and then we're gonna do this one over there, over the back, because I want to do 3 petals, so you can see 3 of them. Okay, just to separate those 2, and that should be a little bit of shadow right there. Okay, so we wanted to do that too. Okay, and then for this one, I'm just gonna let the viewer fill up this area yourself. So I'm not going to even come down and close it. It's just so that it could, it's just a totally lost line right there. Okay, and we're gonna use some kind of a background, and maybe I'll do a little bit right there, okay, so that you can see where it, this petal actually join over here. Actually, okay, I'm just gonna erase it. I'm just using some water and it's totally gone, okay? Because after I did that, maybe it's over here, but it's more beautiful just to leave it like that, okay? And then I'm going to do some green color over here, and that is we don't really have to worry too much, just kind of, because the middle part of the snowdrop always has some green over there, okay? So we kind of just do that, okay? And so that you can see that there's the green, okay? Yes, I will encourage you to go and see if you want to practice snowdrop, okay? So this year I'm not going to do a full snowdrop, and maybe next year, but for this year we're just going to do like this, for welcoming spring. And so I actually saw a picture, but I didn't wanted to do exactly what the picture does, and so I'm having them they haven't seen each other for 1 whole year, right? Or 10 months, because they were gone and their flower died down, and then in next spring their meeting is a happy reunion. And so I kind of wanted to, my sentiment of such, right now is that, so I do that. Okay, now we're gonna do the stem over here, okay? First, we're gonna just slightly use my number 2 brush with sap green, okay? And then we kind of touch it all the way down here, okay? You see that? As I push it in here, the color start pushing away, and it actually form a little indentation for me. It's actually quite cool. Okay, now this highlight I meant to leave, and so I'm going to come and soften it, okay? I meant to leave the highlight over there, okay? Why? It's the same thing. We're trying to get the form. Okay, and so some perlene green. Actually, I can use let's see if I can let this brush be pointed. Okay, perlene green, and darken the darkest area, and let the color kind of mix in there. See? Okay, and that's it. And that's what I wanted to portray. And now we're gonna do this. So, as of right now, we're gonna just kind of do the leaves. Okay, and the snowdrop's leaf are very they're kind of like little blades, okay? So do you remember last time when we do the should I use the number 2? I'm going to use the flow brush, okay? Last time when we do this, when we're doing the hyacinth, okay, we were doing a lot of the leaf is, quite similar, okay? So we don't really have to worry too much about, because they are not the center, okay, the focal point, okay? So we don't have to worry too much and give too much highlight or anything, because they are not now part of the focal point of this painting anymore, okay? If you want to, just kind of leave a little bit highlight here and there. Okay. Okay, and so I'm using this sap green, and just kind of keep pulling it down. Keep pulling the color down. Okay, isn't that pretty? And then I quickly go into the perlene green. We can also do some indigo too. Now, careful with my flow brush, because my flow brush can take a lot of water, okay? So when I come back here with the perlene green, it could be kind of watery. which you can see, right? But no problem, okay? When your pigment on your brush is watery, it like to disperse, okay? Now I'm getting more because I kind of want to, this area to be darker. I'm still, trying to portray the form of the leaf, okay? So I'm trying to get this part, so that there's also variation in the color. Okay, and then there's the form in the blade, okay? Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep doing it because I might have, time to just keep going. And I'm doing the same thing, okay? Also with the blade of the crocus, okay? Just sap green. Now this is the part where you actually have fun, but while you're having fun, you're actually practicing. You're actually practicing allowing your color to mix. Okay, watercolor is very, very good if you allow it to mix, okay? Now I say, wow, that's kind of pushing it, so I come in and recover some of that. Okay? And then I'm going to use it on here. That's how cheap I am with my paint. I have to while I'm doing the grass, as you guys just watch it, I don't have to, explain too much, and I'll tell you what's happening to me. My husband's mom just went into hospice, and in home hospice, and so we just seen her not very long ago at my husband's sister funeral, right? And I guess mom is she's a very brave woman. She know that her legs are giving out, all the veins are not very strong anymore, and so she just wanted to be able to go. She had a lot of faith. She know that she wanted to see her husband, and she doesn't want to go in the surgery. And actually the doctor was not what do you call that? Was not very optimistic, and so I respect her. My husband talked to the doctor and her, and go through all the option, and she didn't want to do most of the option. And you see I'm flicking the, and just adding more green over here, okay? Now that just wasn't planned, and I can do that, because we're having fun, and when you are more comfortable with the way you do things, then you can do that kind of thing, okay? So okay, I'm good for over here for now, okay? Now this leaf go behind the flower because I don't want anything to, kind of, the happy reunion is actually happening, okay? And and since she has decided, and the doctor respect her wish, he's not, I don't know if he's a religion person or not, but he respect her faith, that she really think that, hey, I'm so old, 92, and I don't need to go through surgery anymore. If we all miss her, of course we will try to remember her, in our prayer and in our heart. But we wanted to be, her to be happy, and be able to see her husband. My father-in-law is actually a very great man. I absolutely love him. And but he passed a few years ago, and so what my husband and I are going to do, but by the time this upload, I will be home already, because my husband still need to, go to work, and so we can't, his student, rely upon him, to be there, and so we'll be back, just for a couple days really, but just go see mom and say goodbye, but not really say goodbye because we hope to see her more than just this time. I'm very, very proud of her, just really, really proud of her for her courage, but I think that she is going through some painful time, and she is very blessed. She has a granddaughter that is very, very sweet, that is living there in her apartment to help her out, and what I'm going to do is I think I will try to film it if I have time. I'm putting she's an acrylic painter, but she really wanted to like try to do some watercolor, so I'm going to put a palette together for her. I love her so much, she's so sweet, and so I'll put a watercolor palette, and so I thought, it might be a good time to just show you guys what I do, what I will put in a watercolor palette, okay? So I'll film that And if I'm successful, then you guys will get to see it. I hope I'm successful. I really hope so. Okay, now if we need more grass, then we will add that as we go, okay, as we are doing the background. And so now one more thing, I know that I always push myself and do a little much because I love you, and so I'm going to do that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use perlin green, okay, and I'm going to do water droplet for you, okay. I'm going to outline it very, very gentle, but you don't do too much, okay, because I have to come back and oh, I can actually do it now. It's not really an outline, it's actually to remind me that's the background, okay? So that outline I wish to disappear into the background as much as I can, okay? I'll do another one, don't worry, okay? And I'm going to use my sap green and then go from the plants and follow the shape of the water drop, okay? I know that I'm doing very, very intricate work over here, okay? And then as we do the background, you will kind of see that there's this water drop, but I need to kind of soften the edges. So it's intricate work. It really is, okay? I'm gonna do another one over here, but I don't like the pencil mark, so I'm gonna erase it. I don't need the pencil mark to help me. Am I kidding myself? Okay, I'm gonna do another water drop right here, okay? Maybe a little bit bigger, okay? Now this is just the background, okay? The water drop, the outline of the perlin green really is just the background. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry, okay? And then I'm gonna do another one over here, okay? Erase that pencil mark. Do you know that you guys can also use watercolor pencil, but just so that you know that how the game works, okay? If you use watercolor pencil, it's fine. You can do that, but it will it's very hard to use a watercolor be as precise as this brush over here, okay, and as sharp. Okay, soften it. Okay, I'm gonna let it dry, okay, before I mess with it like the other one. Okay, so that's the free water drop that I'm gonna do, okay, because I just I'm crazy. I push myself too much. I wanted to do this, I wanted to do that. Now I'm just gonna let that dry before I fill in with some sap green in here, soft sap green, so that you will know, okay? Now, but if the sap green mixed together with here, I actually could do a little bit of a gentle perlin green, okay? And then it needs to be softened, okay? So these are very intricate work. If you guys are up for it, you can do that, okay? You can do that together with me, but you don't have to do the water drop, okay? And so I think this one is kind of dry, so let's just do the very, very soft sap green over here, okay? And it need to be as soft as you can manage to do that, okay? Inside, okay? And just kind of soften it, and hopefully it will show up. But if it doesn't, then we can also always at the very end use a little bit of a highlight, if we have lost off our highlight, and put it back in there, okay? Yeah, this part look like it does not, it's not happy with me. Kathy, you're messing with me too much. Okay, soften the background over there, okay? And so that's like 1, 2, 3, 3 water drop. Okay, I'm going to, just leave it alone right now. Don't pick on it, and then we'll come back and see. If we don't like it, then we'll just like close it up. Now, we're gonna use the time and do some soil. Now, I am using a stiff brush, or whatever stiff brush that you can get, or you can get the happy dots, okay? And then I'm going to go into some sepia color, okay? Mix it maybe with some burnt umber, just kind of do some mud over here, okay? I'm not even like trying too hard to, because it's springtime. In springtime, the rocks and the muds are, they're just muddy, okay? Now, I'm not going to leave a lot of highlights because then it will take away from the main painting, okay? So I'm just gonna kind of do this, okay? I was planning of doing some snow, maybe I still will. Okay, let's just see. Okay, so now it's time to come in here and soften the color, okay? Soften that edges so that, they're kind of you know, taking their supporting role instead of being the main actress. Okay, so kind of soften the color, but this is not done. That's not only the rock. Okay, I'm going to do some snow over here. Too much pencil mark. Okay, and very fast I mix the sepia together with my burnt umber. So what that does is just make it a little bit less reddish and more of brown, you know, because I like brown more than red. I always do. Okay, do the same thing. Okay, so but you know, we don't want to leave too much highlight. Okay, so not too much white. That's what I mean when I mean highlight. Okay, and then let's take away this part over here so that I can soften. I can come in up and soften the color. Okay, don't worry, you saw me, right? I just like use my finger and it does that. So how do we use our water as a eraser? See, and take care of that mistake. Okay, and then pull this color out so that it's very nice and soft and gentle. Okay, like I say, it's supporting role. We don't want it to be too much of a dark line. Okay, and so we can, you know, kind of bring it over here because it is the ground, right? So mud is everywhere. Mud is just everywhere. Okay, now this is getting dry, but in order to, you know, I mean, you can tell that this really is just kind of mud, right? But we still wanted to drop the sepia color here and there. And what are we doing is just maybe portray that there might be some little pebbles, or there actually might be some leaves down here, but we're not going to paint it, you know, to take too much from the flower. Okay, and then we come soften some of it and we don't soften part of the others. Okay, so it looks more dimensional and really look like the ground. Okay, so you need to go in between the leaves over here and just get that color in there. Okay, and so this is actually done, unless I come back in here and I'm not happy, but I think I'm happy. Okay, same, use just strict sepia, very full of pigment. Okay, and come over here and do the same thing. Okay, go around the little bit of the highlight that you have, but not too much. Okay, and then we're gonna just soften some part of it, and some part of it leave it with a sharp line, like right there. Okay, we're just gonna, and that's how we do it. Okay, isn't that kind of fun? Okay, too much water suddenly is too wet, so I just kind of dab it. You know, I really like to, you know, like point out more of the mistake that I make, you know, like I'm not quite happy with this water drop over here, right? And so I might just go in and close it because I don't make that big enough, or we'll see. Okay, but now we're just gonna do the background and then we're done. So you can see that in this painting, these two friends are meeting each other again in the spring. Okay, so now the background, because I need the background to bring out this snowdrop flower. Okay, so let's come over here first and let's do some perlin green, because it's a softer color than the sap green. Okay, so if you try to do the background you know, with indigo or perlin green first, then the color is not as glaring and it's more like a background color. Okay, you see that? You see how I butt against the line of the, you know, of the leaves and also of the flower. Okay, you see that? And so that is my way of bringing it out, and as we go. Okay, so I'm gonna do this too, and then I'm gonna come down here and bring that over here, and then actually bring it around the crocuses. There's two of them. Okay, and so I wanted to film this before I leave, you know, to go, and then have it up as soon as I come back, and so that we will, you know, we'll have this out, and you can see that I'm pulling this green color into that, bravely pull it into the yellow. Okay, so that the background will mix in together. Okay, and while we're doing that, since we have used indigo, you can at this point drop indigo here and there. Okay, and that's kind of, you know, very fun when we do it this way. Okay, and then I'm going to use that use that Perlene green again, okay? And so I'm gonna go somewhere over here and do this motion, and what that does is telling you that there are more plants at the back, right? And it can go into that water, you know, and disperse like that. Okay, that doesn't matter. And when the painting is done, then you can see that, you know, you can see that there will be, you know, it looked like blades of the leaf of, you know, so in your mind you can just imagine that there will be more snowdrop behind you, not behind you, behind this plant here, okay? Because of the blade that's coming out. Okay, and I'm just gonna slightly do things here and there, okay? You know, do some, so I'm not going to worry about this area again, because I'm going to worry about the snowdrop, okay? And so what I'm gonna do is use the same thing, use some of my Perlene green, and come over here and do the background. You see? I'm leaving this like, you know, kind of vague, right? Remember I told you that? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this and come in and just kind of also vaguely soften this area so you know that there is a leaf over there, okay? Isn't that fun? Now, with watercolor, you can do things like that. And we greatly need to use the background. Now, this is not a background, so it's actually part of the plants, so we need to remember that, okay? And so go back with the Perlene green. Okay, I slap down the color, it doesn't matter. And then I'm going to soften it. You know, when I say soften, I mean bring in the water. I mean a clean brush, okay? Soften that and just let that go. And if you say that, I kind of want some more definition over here, then you can do the same thing, okay? But I don't want to fill in the lost line over there, because as you can see with the background, you can see the snowdrop so much better now, right? And the snowdrop and the crocuses. But anyway, it's about time that I kind of keep going a little bit and say goodbye. So I wanted you guys to have fun with this painting of spring. You know, springtime with a snowdrop plus crocuses. Like I say, I have more. I have a big snowdrop painting from last year. There was a lot, I think at least 5 snowdrop in there. And if you really wanted to try that, I encourage you. I'm gonna use some yellow. Okay, over here just for fun, and I encourage you to go and you know, paint that if you like, and see if you know, really enjoy painting that, because maybe you joined me this year and you didn't see that or notice that, and that one was fun. It's mainly just green and white. I decided that I need that part to be a little bit darker, and so I come in and I just did that. Okay, I want this part to be a little bit darker too, right here, okay? And so I come in and do that, okay? And all the while keeping in mind the shape of the petal of the snowdrop, okay? And so, and tell me how you feel, you know, because this is a relatively, you know, there's some skill to that, but relatively easy and fun, okay? Because it's just this crocus and the snowdrop, okay? And so, yeah, and we're gonna go see James' mom, and then when I come back, actually, I can paint a full painting of crocuses. I don't know if I will do that. You guys can, you know, ask me if you want it, or we can do that next year. And then I'll go on with more spring plant that's coming up, you know, everywhere, like daffodils and, you know. Oh, actually, Easter bunny. I need to do a bunny. I need to do a bunny because my granddaughter wanted a bunny, and so a bunny it is, okay? And this part is just kind of, you know, so I'm softening it because when I was doing the other side, the other background, it just kind of do something. I don't know what it did. Okay, and in order for your mind, if you wanted to see that there are actually more plants, you know, crocuses, you can actually drop yellow color over here and there too, okay? And so that will be just kind of like a suggestion. Oh, there is more there is more crocuses growing out of the ground here and there, okay? And that's what you can do, okay? And that's like, you know, it's almost like you're adding another blossom, you know, over there, okay? So, and oh, where's my purple? It went over here. And then we kind of have some kind of suggestion of purple because that's the stem, right? And that's kind of fun, isn't that fun? And you can also do more sap green over, no, sepia over here, you know, to mix up some of the, you know, fantasy of this, you know, this part of the painting, right? Ah, have fun. How fun is that? And because then there is some purple, I need to put some green here too, okay? And so we will just do that, and you know, so that will be just like kind of some suggestion that, wow, there's something more in the background. I always like to do more background, with you guys, because I just don't want it to just have the painting with white, okay? And so this is about it. I might do a little bit of green color there, and then we will go on into the introduction, okay? And I will use this and do the introduction. And thank you so much for joining me, and I hope that you guys really have fun in the springtime. Go out and, you know, just really enjoy celebration of the season and of spring. We had a very, very cold winter this winter here in Utah. And so everybody, today is 50 degrees, I cannot believe it. Everybody sap green, okay? Sap green is suggestion of more color or more snowdrop, okay? And you know, so, and as you do that, and I think that it will give you inspiration to come in and paint. And a drawing of this will be provided, of course, like usual, in my blog. And you guys, you know, I will try to do the blog post before I leave, and you guys will have that. And by the time I come back, like I keep saying that, you know, this will be published when I come back, you know, from seeing my mother-in-law and, you know, seeing how she's doing. And then we will, you know, and go get the drawing, and then you can, you know, try your hand on this one, okay? All right. I will see you. Thank you so much. Love you guys.